is your time. Better live it today. Take a stand. Meet your dreams halfway. Leave behind all the fear and doubt. And welcome to your beautiful now. Hey everybody, it's Derek Floyd here, Beautiful Now Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Beautiful Now Live. We're here, y'all. Are you ready? It's been a minute since we've been back, and I'm so excited to see everybody out there. Today I got an incredible event for you, so you better stay tuned. But before we jump into all the good stuff, we got to get the stuff out the way. We got to say, hey, if you enjoy the content you see here, do me a favor. Hit me with a like or subscribe to the channel. This lets me get the most updated content to you as soon as it's available. And also hit the little gray bell next to it. That lets you know when the content has arrived. Also, if you really love watching what you see, do me a favor and share it with a friend. We want to make sure everybody leaves this place uplifted, encouraged, and inspired. Last but not least, we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to be able to see all the content again. So you might be able to replay this another time after the event is over. So come back to the YouTube channel. You'll be able to see this one more time if you miss it today. Now, we've got a special sponsor today. It's going to be sponsoring this particular event because this is going to be one of those sponsored by IK Multimedia. Let me check this out for you. IK Multimedia has a brand new monitor system. Check this out. This is going to be handcrafted. I can't even get it out today, y'all. Check it out in the front. Let's see if I can see this for you. Let's see if I can put this in the front for you here. Here we go. Let's see what we're looking at here. Oh, yeah. And if it's popping, it never works right when you put it on the screen, right? There it is. We're talking about engineered and designed in Italy. This is a digitally controlled studio monitor. You're going to want to check these out. They are called iLoud Precision monitors. These are the best in the game, and we got a lot of guys checking them out. So we want to make sure you guys see these before you pop into the segment. Be looking, go to the ikmultimedia.com website today to check them out. Now, before we get back and jump back into the thing, let's talk about who are artists or people that are going to be here today to talk to us about it. We have a segment called What's It Like, or What's it Take to Be a Music Producer in the industry today. Because a lot of people say, oh, I'm just going to make beats, I'm going to be a producer, or I'm going to buy this machine, I'm going to make music. But there's a whole lot more that goes into it, being a producer, than what you think. And today I have a roundtable of award-winning producers to talk about what it really takes to really be a working producer in this industry. So I'm going to introduce each one of them one at a time, and then we'll go right into the segment. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Now, my first artist, or my first producer, is a gentleman that's been around for a long time. He's been a good friend of mine, and he's produced so many artists along the way. I'm going to give you a snippet of some things he's done. Check this out here. Let's see what you got. I'm going to pull up this screen right here. And now that all this stuff takes forever. You know how this stuff takes too many times to get to the screen, but we're going to get it there right there. And there it is. Okay. These are some of the artists he's produced. John Legend, Bruno Mars, Drake, just to name a few. That's only a few. Will you please introduce my main man, Mr. Supa Dups is in the house. Soups, you there, brother?
What up, boss? How you doing, man?
What's good, man?
I'm here. Sorry, you caught me off guard. I was just playing Candy Crush a while ago.
Candy Crush. You clowning, man. You clowning. I'm just glad you're here, man, to talk to the people about what it's like to be a producer.
Man, it's a rough one, man. I'm just trying to stay in the game.
And it's not easy anymore, man. People think it's just a no-brainer, but it's a whole lot of work to it, right?
Well, when I started, it was a lot harder, believe it or not. It's a lot easier in certain sense right now, and it's a lot harder in certain sense too, because back in my day, it wasn't as many producers. Now, like, everybody get FL now or whatever it is, and they're producing now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But as you talk and we talk more about it, we're going to break down what that title really means, right? Because it's not just making beats. Nuh-uh. Way more to it, right?
Yep.
All right. So let me introduce guest number 2 then, since we got guest number 1, Supa Dups, award-winning producer, producing so many artists along the way. Let's check out what our second producer's done. And he's talked about Jay-Z. He's produced DJ Khaled. He's produced Rick Ross. Can I bring in guest number 2, Mr. Major 7. There you is, bro. What's going on, man?
What's What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's
Pleasure to
good,
be.
man? You all right out there?
Yes, sir. I'm good. I'm good.
All
It
right, I
got it
see.
got dark fast over here,
Yeah,
but
it did,
hopefully you
because
guys
it
can
was
still
just
hear.
light a few minutes ago. It's dark
Nah,
like
really.
all of a sudden right now. I mean, when I just talked to you 5 minutes ago, there was light there, bro.
No, for real. If you need me to move somewhere with a little more light, let me know.
It's all good, man. We'll get you in there as you start to move around. If you can find a spot, we'll make it work. But we
All
just
right,
had
cool.
you in the perfect light, so I don't know how we lost you that quick. You were just lit right away. Now it's like poof, gone.
No,
So,
for
man, you're
real.
gonna tell us how it is to be a producer as well, right?
Yes, sir. Of course. Do you want me to answer the question now?
Nope. We're gonna get back to it. Just say we're gonna
All
bring
right,
the third person in,
cool.
and we're gonna get everybody talking about it. You cool with that?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Let's go at it. One more producer here on the doing this thing. We're talking about Ronnie, Little Ronnie Jackson. What's good, homie?
What's up, my brother?
What's happening, man? You good?
No complaints. And
No
that's it. I
complaints.
had some with nobody listen, so you just keep it moving.
that's, that's what you got to do, man. We're glad to have you on the show, man. Appreciate you just stopping by.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, if I take it out, look at all three of these amazing artists, I've got the three producers right here in the house: Supa Dups, Major 7, Ronnie Jackson, all here to talk about what it means to be a music producer in this day and age. Let's kick off into it as I bring all four of us together. What's good, gentlemen?
What's going
There.
on?
There it is.
It's all good.
The round table of knights, right? The night of the round tables.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah, I'll try to move to a little bit more light too.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Do your thing. So I'm
Yeah, I'm
gonna
here.
start off with the easiest question, and I'm gonna just take this around and see what you guys think about it. You know, kids today all think that being producers about grabbing an MPC or an NI machine or something and making beats. In your opinion, what is the definition of a working music producer? Ronnie, you start first.
Man, that's the $1 million question because producer is it's so many definitions, you know what I mean? In the hip hop world, a producer is the person that makes the beat, you know, and the country world is the person that actually finishes the product, you know. Pop world, it's just a number of definitions because a lot of producers don't make beats and a
Right.
lot of beat makers don't produce. So it's just one of them things that I don't really mind, you know, whatever your definition of it is a producer, it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter to me, but it's a lot that goes to it.
Yeah, I would think. I think so. Major 7, talk to me. What do you think is the definition of a working music producer?
To me, a music producer is somebody who could add value in all aspects of a record and see the record from start to finish, and be able to contribute to like the engineering, the beat making, um, leading the musicians, producing the musicians, the songwriters, bringing out the best of everybody in the studio. So I feel like a producer is somebody who wears many hats and kind of like directs the show from the beginning to the end of the record
Okay.
and
Okay.
brings the best out of everyone.
That's a good look. That's a good look. What about Soups? What do you think a music producer definition of a working producer now?
Darn, Major 7 just said it for me. But nah, but kids nowadays don't use MPCs. Like I'm talking, that was like more my days. They didn't use machine. They more use like FL Studio or
Okay, I'm
you
throwing
know what
my
I'm
age
saying.
up there. All right, help me out, Soups.
But a lot of kids nowadays get it twisted. Like they just think like they make a beat and somebody like jump on it and that's being a producer. A lot of times the title of the producer probably should go to the engineer because he's the one who's like telling the artist how to sing, arranging it, doing all of that. Then the guy send the beats and then call himself a producer. That's not a producer. That's a composer. You know what I'm saying? Did he compose the beat? Yeah. So a producer to me is like somebody who sees it from point A to point Z. You know what I'm saying? He does the overall. Like he just puts it together. And damn, Major Seven, your crickets was killing it a while ago, boy, in Jamaica.
Hey, you
Yeah,
already
they
know.
were loud. I
I'm in your
thought those
hometown.
crickets would come out. I'm like, that can't be the speakers, but it was like, I'm like, what is going on?
No, but here, man,
Yo, that's
that's some
crazy.
Jamaican crickets, man. The Jamaican crickets aggressive.
Oh yeah, man. I'm over here in Judgment Yard, bro.
They stayed up loud, dude. I thought it was the microphone. Like, why is it getting all this feedback? The crickets out there. Okay, now I don't feel bad. Well, good explanation, Soups.
Yeah, I see you out there touching some things around the back.
Real
So,
talk.
so Soup, since you said that great explanation, who do you think of when you think of an amazing music producer, like someone that you would look up to or respect or emulate?
Quincy Jones,
Yes, sir.
hands down. Like I'm talking, that's a producer. Quincy Jones. I heard him like somebody said like his favorite instrument is other people. So his
Ah,
thing is he just got the best of whoever it was to do their part. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
And he is the one who orchestrated everything to put it together to make it happen. The definition of a producer, I'm talking. That's to me. That's what a real producer is. Somebody like what that dude from Canada name is again? He did all that Celine Dion stuff, and I can't remember his name, man. You know, brain fart. Um, I'm talking that you have like newer people,
yeah.
like Dr. Luke
Okay,
is that's he's a definition of a producer.
okay, okay.
Um, then you have like other people like Oak. Oak is amazing. Salam Remy, those are producers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Timbaland, Pharrell. Pharrell is a producer.
Yes.
And people don't get mad if I ain't called your name. You know what I'm saying? I'm just on the spot right now. You know, Derek
Yeah.
couldn't put your boy on the spot.
Yeah.
And
It's all good. It's love, love.
and then Jamaican crickets. Well, yeah.
So then, Mr. Cricket Man, Major Seven, who is somebody that you call a producer? Mr. Seven?
Oh man, when I think of like great producers, I'm thinking of Teddy Riley, Quincy Jones, um, everybody that Supa Dups named, and everybody included on this stage. Like I learned so much being around Supa Dups and Ronnie. Like those guys really put records together, and something that I didn't mention earlier that I feel like explains what a producer is somebody that really just recognizes everybody's strengths and weaknesses, including their own, and they know how to like strengthen their own weaknesses by using other people as instruments, like Quincy said, and then also bringing out the strengths of others. You got to know who's the right bass player for the right record, who's the right keys player for the right record to capture the right feeling, or who's the right songwriter. Just because somebody's dope doesn't mean that they're dope for everything. So part of being a producer is even knowing when you got to step back yourself and bring in another producer or somebody who's great at something else that you need for the specific project to make it the best thing that it can be.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Ronnie, you want to add anything to that, or does that just feel like that sums it up for you?
Listen, they summed it up. You don't get better answers than Super Duper Major Seven that gave. So yeah,
That's all good. That's all
that's it
good.
right there.
So let's go back then. Since you started off, Ronnie, we're going to start with you. When did you first discover that being a music producer was your passion? When was it just like, oh, this is what I got to do for my life. This is it.
Um, I'm a PK. My dad's a pastor, so I always had to play in church. And then
Amen.
because I had a musical family, amen.
Yes,
My
sir.
my teachers knew my family, so they wouldn't let me play the same instruments at school that I played in church. So I went to performing arts schools from grade school to high school, and the performing arts schools really brought that out. You know what I mean? Like being able to play instruments, and then going into middle school, we had applied technology or music theory, and basically we were making beats in class.
Wow.
And in a performing arts school, everybody has a group, everybody's a singer, everybody's a rapper. I started making it for some of our guys around the school, and then they was like, "Yo, can we buy this?" And I was like, "Oh, you can monetize this? Yeah,
Yes,
let's do it."
sir. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. And then it was from there. It was just history, right? You just kept going.
Absolutely. It's levels in this game. You have to win battles and eventually get on the playing field to try to win a war. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's step by step, day by day, person by person, song by song.
I
So
love
just
it.
take your wins and keep on elevating.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Soups, when did you first discover being a producer was your passion?
Damn, I still don't even know if it's my passion or not. I'm just kidding.
I think you need to figure that out by now,
What,
homie.
well, my background. I started out as a DJ. You knew me when I was a DJ,
I know.
Derek, from back in the day. So I made my name as a DJ, and it was. I just think it was just a natural progression. I kind of got tired of the touring, and you know, what I mean, I done subscribe to all them sins of the world, and I just thought, the woman, the drinking, the drugs, the whatsoever, and then I just kind of wanted to slow down, and then I just started making beats. In fact, I got into production kind of like on an accident, you know what I mean? So I used to put out these mix CDs back in the day named Black Chinese, which they got massive worldwide. So I was touring the world. And then I would put a beat on there here and there, and then one of those beats ended up becoming my first hit. So the first song that ever came out for me was a hit worldwide. So it's my struggle coming up as a producer was a little different. After I had my first hit, that's when I struggled. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And listen, everybody, that does not work the same way for most people. Their first track is not a global hit. So don't get out there and think you about to be Supa Dups tomorrow. Y'all better help somebody because that stuff don't always happen. You had Jesus on your side. It was destined for you that
Amen.
way. But that is not the automatic move. So let's not let people think that's gonna happen. But yes. But then again, at the same time, like you said something, you paid your dues as a DJ first. So you got
Yes.
into music, you got how music moved, how people moved on the floor, and you studied. So by the time you got to really working on your music,
Well,
you had a vibe already, right?
let me add something. So, all right. So I started DJing when I was like 11, 12. And then I started messing around with a drum machine and stuff by the time I was like 16, 17. And then I always had like a background in production, but how I ever started production is because I also I wanted to be a singer. And my cousin was a rapper. And then I looked in the mirror one day. I said, "Ain't nobody want to see Jackie Chan singing." You know what I'm saying? At the time, Far East movement didn't come out yet. So, you know what I'm saying? Somebody looking at a Chinese Jamaican trying to sing, I don't think that was it. So then I just dove into DJing, and then with my production background is how I was able to make the remixes and stuff that actually made Black Chinese popular worldwide. And then from that, I took it now, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kind of built on it after all the years of me traveling the world and stuff. And I like the fact that I could actually make the same amount of money or more and not go anywhere. And that's the story, really.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. But let me ask this then, and I'll start with Major Seven on this question. What's the skill every producer should try to work to perfect right away? Like, what's the first skill you got to work on if you're gonna be a producer in the game?
I think sound selection, just really like developing your ear, because a lot of times just picking the right sounds to begin with can make your whole track sound better. This tracks as I got better that I've updated from years ago that are in getting traction now, all because I went back and I have developed my ear to the point of just that sound works better. It's just that's a better snare, or there's a more quality kick, and just finding the right sounds to begin with in the first place. I feel like that's super important. And really just perfecting the craft in general, really being a student to the craft, because a lot of people, they just make something and they're already trying to get feedback and think they're dope or whatever, but it's you always got to be a student. You always got to be trying to learn. To this day, I'm still watching people program hi-hats, even though I've done it a billion times.
Right.
On YouTube, I'm always learning on YouTube. I got subscriptions to groove3.com, all kind of stuff, where I'm constantly learning plugins, new things. So you always got to be learning. So just being a student to your craft is always important.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Ronnie Jackson, what about you? Skill every producer should work to perfect.
Know your DAW. Whatever DAW you use, kind of know it in and out, because you can do so many tricks and so many different things. If you like understand your DAW, whatever that is, that's very important. I feel like we're computer scientists. You know what I mean? Like being a producer is not easy. We basically have to take a ideal out of thin air, what's in our head, and make it come out of a computer. You know what I mean? So most definitely perfecting the DAW that you're working in.
Now, you're saying DAW. For those that don't know, DAW means Digital Audio Workstation. That is the platform or maybe the palette where you actually create your sound into. Like your computer, it holds is the software itself, but there's a software application that you put all your sounds, all your data, all into one place. That is your Digital Audio Workstation. That's your DAW. So that's what he's talking about. Examples of that would be like Pro Tools or Logic or Ableton, stuff like that. What DAW do you use, Ronnie, by the way?
I was on Logic for about 12 years, and now I'm an Ableton guy.
You like Ableton, huh?
Just the things you can do with audio is pretty amazing.
Yes. I can't get my head around it. I tried. Like, Soup must be shouting for it too. Are you an Ableton guy now, Soup?
I've been an Ableton guy. I've been an Ableton guy for like the last 10 years, 10 or 12,
so
10 or whatever. It's a while.
So I'm late to the game.
Supa Dups been trying to convert me. He been trying to convert me, man. I'm still a Logic guy.
I'm still a Logic guy too, man. I'm gonna have to.
Man, Ronnie, talk to him, man. Major 7 don't know what he missing.
I look like we lost Ronnie. He went black on us for a second. We had to bring him back. Maybe his phone went dead. We'll keep rocking through it.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what though, in terms of that question that you asked them, like to me, what I think every producer should like focus on really is find out what your strengths are and find out what you're good at and become great at it. Because I think every producer has like a different strength. The thing is I find like one of the keys is collaboration. Like collaboration is so important. Like you just become great at if you're like good at drums, become great at drums. If you're good at melodies, become great at melodies. Collaborate to get, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just what I feel. Like it's just everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. Not everybody could do it all, end all, be all. You know? Yeah. You have some people that could write and perform and produce.
Right.
Like I know like somebody like I won't mention his name now, but he produces just as good as he writes.
Okay.
But one of them had to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So one of them is going to be dominant. So sometimes it'd be like the production, like say somebody like a Pharrell. Pharrell does both and does both extremely well. But it's just he's stronger at one part, so he more does one part, which is the production.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Makes sense. So then let's go here. Since you started with that, you already talked about the first artist you produced that became successful. What was the artist name that you produced that took your career off? What was the first one?
Nina Sky is a song named Turning Me On. So they were two sisters, twins from New York, and they had a hit named Move Your Body, and I did their second single. Wow. So that was their follow-up single.
And that was the biggie that took you to the next level.
That's what like introduced me to that's like my first like placement by myself that just took off, and you know what I mean? And I didn't even know how to handle it, man. I'm just like because honestly I wasn't even looking for it. Right. It just happened.
See, you got that serious good vibe, man. We'll talk about yours later. It's just falling right in your lap, bro.
Well, it didn't fall on my lap. It's I put in a lot of the work in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like I did the hustle in the DJing circuit.
Yes,
I did the house parties.
Yes, sir.
I had to lift record boxes up, you know, back in the days of records. I had to,
man.
You know
records.
what I mean? Lift up speaker boxes. I came from the dirt with production. Not production, with DJing, and then on production, I just kind of like, I started in it trying to be an artist. That didn't work out, and then I'm just like, you know what, to heck with that. And then I just kind of fell into production.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
7. Who was the first artist you produced that became successful? Helped your career take off.
Oh man. So the first like major production that I had was on the album was Rick Ross and Jay-Z, Devil Is a Lie. So that was like the real start of my career.
The very beginning, huh? And that was one that took you to the next level?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ronnie, what about you? What was the first one?
So for me, it's a little bit different. So I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, as y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City Chiefs represent.
Come on, Mahomes.
We were Kansas City is more like a West Coast city. So when I was in middle school and high school, I was doing like Tech Nine, E40, Yuck Mouth, all these guys that were like basically street rap legends. So that gave me my start. But the first major placement was Reuben Studdard, sorry, 2004.
Oh, no,
from
really?
American Idol.
This is my sorry for 2004.
Yep.
Get out. I didn't know that was
Yes,
you,
sir.
Ronnie.
Yeah, that's my voice in the front. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Damn, Ronnie, I didn't even know you was that old.
I'm not, man.
I'm just
I
kidding.
had
I'm just
hits
kidding.
at
I'm
a
kidding. I'm
young
kidding. I'm kidding.
age.
All right, so let's go to Soups since you stood up and started talking, Soups. Who is the artist you worked with that you probably fanboyed out on? Like the first time you're like, oh my God, I get to produce this dude. Who was that? Who was that first artist?
I don't think I've ever had that. Just based on the fact that I always knew that even though they, you know, what I mean, they're the same human like me. You know what I'm saying? So the only difference is more people might know them and they have more money. But to me, they're the same human. So I never really fanboyed out on like anybody really. But the closest to that, I would say, like when Shakira flew me over to like Barcelona to work with her. And even then, I don't know if that was like a fanboy thing. I think I was just more like happy to be in Barcelona work with Shakira. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing right there, kid. Come on now. Shakira and Barcelona, that's a win.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is definitely a win.
So,
It's definitely a win. All right, well, I'll take that as a semi fanboy move. What about 7? What about you?
yeah.
Who was the first person that you worked with that you actually kind of almost fanboyed out?
I actually approach it very similar to Supa Dups. It's like I think that like it's on preparation meets opportunity. So it's like it takes so long for like these dreams to come to reality. That like I visualize myself meeting Rihanna and meeting Jay-Z and Beyonce so much that by the time it happens, it's just like regular. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I belonged there and I felt like I put in the work to belong there. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
cool.
by the time it happens, it's like I'm already ready for it to happen. But I will say like meeting those people were probably like the most surreal. But it wasn't really a fanboy. It's like I'm always pretty like just cool about it. And I feel like another surreal moment was meeting Dr. Dre because a lot of people in his team kept telling me like Martian Ambrosius and Focus was like, yo, Devil Is a Lie is his favorite song. He's always referencing that song. So when I finally met him and he played me the album in the studio and it just everything sounded so big, and to meet Dr. Dre, that was probably like one of the most surreal moments. It was like, wow, I'm actually here and I actually produced one of Dr. Dre's favorite songs. It felt kind of crazy. So I would say probably that moment
That's
gave me
cool.
that feeling the most.
That's a pretty big moment, man. I can't imagine having my track be heard by Dr. Dre and he's like, that's my track. That sounds amazing. That would be fire. That would be a huge moment for sure. That would be a huge moment for sure. Well, let's take a left on some of the kind of esoteric stuff and bring it back to the business side, because I know the creative side is one thing, but how important is it learning the business side of the industry? Ronnie, what do you think? I mean, if you're talking to these young kids out here that want to come in and start, how important is that business side to learn first?
It's the most important thing. People say, "Hey, you're in the music industry," and I correct them. I tell them I'm in the business of music. A majority of my success comes from me having my business together. Um, I don't have to have consistent placements because my business was done right on my biggest songs, you know?
Mm.
So it's very, very important. You know what I mean? I preach every day, like, yo, don't do a publishing deal, do an admit deal. There are different situations that you can do to, just prepare yourself. Wait, don't get locked into a deal too early. You'll regret it. So it's all about the business. And a lot of times why it's so important to take care of the business, because when you're doing it for a while and the hustle and bustle, the industry will beat you up. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
you won't even like or enjoy making music anymore because the business is so been bad to you or you didn't take care of your business. So for me, it's very important, even for your creativity. Like you want to continue to love what you do every day and not really spite the industry, you know?
Mm, mm, mm. That's wisdom. That's wisdom there. I mean, get that business handled early. Get the business handled early. Suits, what do you think? What's how important is learning that business side of things before you get rocking?
Apart from the music, which is the product, your business is the most important thing because that's what you're going to live off of. That's the one of the more important things to me is having like a good manager, a manager that you work with. There's not a lot of good managers out there, believe it or not. But but anybody could be a manager, but not everybody are good managers. You have to know about your business too. You know what I mean? Like points, splits. Even with the thing with the publishing, I agree with what Ronnie said. Just don't sell out your publishing too early, and you know what I'm saying? Not sell out your publishing, sign a publishing deal, or be too eager. Like wait, learn first. You know what I mean? Don't be too quick to sign nothing, because you sign away everything. And I know a lot of people that has done that as well. So it is important to learn the business. Um, just I don't even think I still know the business like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It's a
always
lot.
learning.
It's a lot to learn, right?
Every day we learn something new. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, wow. I think that sums it up, though. I mean, and Major Seven, I'm gonna give you another question, but talk about that business side of things. You just got to be smart. You got to line it up before you get started. You got to make sure you learn the ins and outs of publishing and how your royalties work, how your splits work. You know, you don't want to give up too soon, like Ronnie said. You don't want to sign something too fast just because you're excited about it. Man, you better get a lawyer real quick, right, fellas?
So
Yes,
it's
sir.
a catch 22 to business, and I feel successful producers and writers, we figure it out real fast, because this is a give to get business. No one is about to just bring you in their doors and give you their opportunities without getting anything from it. But there's ways to be smart about it. You know what I mean? Like when you're the younger producer, it's okay to give, half of your publishing up to the bigger producer because you wouldn't have that opportunity. It's okay that certain artists, because they're the biggest artists in the world, are going to ask for certain percentages. That's okay until you're in the situation and have the leverage to get what you deserve. But a lot of people, you come in too early, too cocky, asking for, like you need everything. I need it all right now, and you'll kill a lot of opportunities like that. So it's a chess game. You have to, know when to sit over in the corner, let the big guy do what he
Absolutely.
do, um, work the
That's
room.
facts.
It's okay to be the little guy for a while until you've done enough and you become that guy. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So
mm,
be careful. Don't be that guy. You come into the room and you got split sheets in your hand. They like, yo, who is he?
mm.
So it's a delicate dance, but that's is all part of learning.
Wow, that's wisdom right there. I hope you got that. That was facts, y'all. Y'all should just
Yeah, I
rewind that
did.
part and play it again, because that was about as much facts as you could get right there, blowing people's mind, right, fellas?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
100%.
Here's another sidebar question.
Yeah.
Ronnie putting it out there. He
Go
made it
ahead.
right. And so
Yeah, no, he's spitting that truth, man.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if the business has changed, And this is what I really wanted to know, because I mean, when I dated myself by saying kids want to get an MPC and want to be a beat maker, you like, they over with that. You know, Suits put me under the bus like, you old. But at the same time, you're talking about bringing in records and spinning records. There are no more records. There's no more, you know, CD. It's all streaming now. How has internet streaming changed the dynamic of how you're paid and how you get your job done? 7. Tell me how internet streaming has changed the dynamic of how you pay.
Well, you might want to ask these older guys, man, because it's like I came in the streaming era, man.
So you came into that game.
Basically, I came in like right at the very, very end. So I know that I heard a lot of OGs say like a lot of things, like it used to be a lot more money before, and I think with streaming, it's like more beneficial, like when you own the master and stuff. But I feel like they probably got better answers for that question.
Okay, let's go to Soups. Soups, how has streaming changed the game for you?
I'm talking, so I came up in the era like when MP3s just came out, but I was fortunate enough to be on a couple albums that sold diamond. And trust me, that publishing you got on that was on another level. But then after a while, all sales stopped, and then we strictly like relied mostly on like ASCAP. And then now it's streaming now producers like us now are able to, we see more royalties like in our like points, and you know what I'm saying? And I think streaming actually saved the business, and it had to go that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just with the times. The record business had to get with the times, man, or they're just going to, you know what I mean, die.
Well, I mean, the question falls into place. Like I said, well, are you getting the same amount? You said you get more, but like when you used to wait for the record to come in, you get record sales, you got points off the record. Well, now there's no record, people aren't downloading a full record. They may download a single, or they'll just turn on Spotify and listen. Are you getting paid per listen, or
yes,
is it not downloading?
Yeah, you get. So basically, it's like every stream, it's worth like, I don't even know what the cents work out to. But it's not a lot. I'm talking radio pays more like per play, but all of that adds up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's better than what it was doing before. You remember back then they used to just download it off or whatever it was, whether it was Napster, Kazaa, and you weren't getting anything from it. So at least streaming came in and saved that now. So it's like, because it's so cheap,
pirating started going crazy.
$10 a month. So now. You remember people go to Starbucks. This is my wife, old Starbucks from this morning. So they people don't want to pay $10 a month, but they buy Starbucks. But now they're paying the money, so it now goes into this pool of people that weren't given money before, and now they're streaming, and now you're getting paid off of that. So in a sense, no, it's not paying more than actual sales, but you're getting paid from it still. And then now being like an older guy like me that has probably a couple hundred records registered, it adds up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I do make more money now.
Ronnie, is it the same for you? I think we lost sound there. Hello? We lost Soup's sound. Ronnie, you still there?
You lost my sound?
Yeah, now you're back. We lost your sound for a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Now, where what part did I cut off?
It's all good, man. We just lost you for a second. We were talking to him, and you were saying that you get it pulled together, and that's how you start to see your residuals from that space. Yeah.
So now it's like now before people wasn't spending when the whole MP3 days was going on and everybody was bootlegging. They would just bootleg the stuff, but now it's like now Spotify. There's millions and millions of people sign up with Spotify, Pandora, all of that. So it gets a couple cents per stream, but those streams adds up. Now it goes into this one big pool, and then like now I would say because I have how many songs I have registered, it adds up. And I would say because I figured out my business and stuff, I would say I make more money now.
Okay. That's
overall.
I got it. And Ronnie, you
which
obviously
is
agree with that too, right?
hold up one second, which is not a lot.
It's not a lot. You just making up stuff now. So Ronnie, you came into the game when internet streaming was popping off. Has it always been that way for you, or did you come in from the other side with the records and then the streaming as well? Ronnie, can you hear us? Feel like we lost Ronnie back there. No sound on him. It looks like we lost Ronnie. He is guest has muted himself. All right. Let's see. Unmute yourself, Ronnie. Look like you're muted. I think you muted yourself. Let's see what we got. Try it again. It says guest has muted themselves, so you can't hear you right now. You must have turned off your headset or something. And the sound goes down. There's always something. Oh. And Ronnie's gonna come back in since his sound went down.
You were trying to get me. You could.
Yeah, I was trying to get Ronnie, and then his sound went out. So I know I got my boy Seven right here. There's Seven, and of course we still got Soups.
For sure.
All right, so let's get these last two questions. We'll bring Ronnie back when he comes back in. All right, so how important? And this is a really good one. How important is good communication with an artist as a producer? Because you got to be able to put together a lot of different people, a lot of different things. You can't just come in and just, I'm the man. How important is that communication? Soups, what do you think?
Ooh me.
Come on, Soups, talk about it.
All right. So I remember one of the smartest things I've ever seen a kid do. I used to work over Circle House a lot.
Yeah.
And he went over to the studio to intern while he was still in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so what school you going to? He's like, FIU or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so what you study? And he says psychology. I'm like, psychology? He's like, yeah, because you have to know how to stroke their egos. So it is very important. So you have to like know how to bring the best out of them. You can't come there with like no egos or whatsoever. You just got to like know what to do to bring the best out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not every approach is the same. Everybody's different. You just have to know how to read the room. Like there was a story like Barcelona, when I went to go work with Shakira, right? So the story is like she likes to feel like she's involved with a record, right? So even though like you're coming up with stuff, so before I would be frustrated because everything she was just shutting down, and then I figured her out in a week. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna overproduce everything, and then what I did now is I would say, what you feel about this? I'll play one sound, and she's like, yeah, but how about you add this? And then I'm like, okay, I'll add it. And then she went away, and I'm like, aha! I just unmuted that track, and she came back in, and I'm like, what you feel about this? And she's like, maybe you add this, and then guess what? I had to learn how to work with her, and every artist is different. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
that was brilliant. And they say you end up being counselor and friend and
everything.
You know, everything. You got to be a little bit of everything to be the producer in the room. So I'm sure it comes out that way, right?
It's definitely about learning how to read people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get the best out of them, and I think some of like the best producers I've ever like been in with like I would see like somebody like Pharrell, and to even see how Pharrell works, like Pharrell is just that man is very good at his you know what I mean, psychology skills when it comes to artists.
Wow. What about you, Ronnie? What about you know how important is being a communicator and what you've done along the way and who you've worked with?
It's the most important thing. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's the most important thing. Like everybody is saying, it's reverse psychology. A lot of times I already have the concept, I already have everything, and it's about getting them involved. They can say a mumble. You're like, what did you just say? Oh, I don't know what I said. You said such and such and such. Yeah, you know, it's all about figuring out the artist and to me, the cheat code is actually getting the artists involved, getting their ideas, getting their concepts. Because when you're not in the room, right, when you're not on that phone call with the label and their management and the A&Rs, guess who's going to fight for the record you did? The artist.
Yeah, yeah, got a point there.
So you most definitely want them involved because they are going to be who's fighting behind closed doors.
Well done, well done. I love that explanation. So important, so important. Last question, Mounted. We didn't hit a lot of good stuff in here, so people, hope you guys are watching, put the replay. A lot of good wisdom for the producers out there. Last one, producing for a while. All of you, what's the one piece of music production or advice about music production that's kind of stuck with you and that's relevant even now? Major 7, what's the one piece of advice about music production somebody told you that stuck with you even now?
I would say just quality over quantity. That's like one of my mottos. Like I don't care about how many records I can make, or like how long it's gonna take. I just care about like making the best music possible, no matter what it takes. And always being a student to your craft and really just working harder than everybody else. Like it's something my mom always said. When I was growing up, that was heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they while their companions slept were toiling upwards through the night. So I was always just grinding through the night. And to this day, I still keep that same chip on my shoulder, and I'm just on the grind, putting in work every single day, every night, and just trying to be the hardest working person in the game.
I love it, man. I love the wisdom you dropped on that. Your mama gave you some good stuff in there, man.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yes, sir. She put that good wisdom in your mind. Yes, sir. Soup, what about you? What's the one piece of advice that has stuck with you even to this day?
Well, I'm talking. I remember back in the day, Jimmy Douglas, the famous engineer, used to engineer for like Timbaland and stuff like that. He mixed one of my records, and I remember him coming back to me, and he's like, "Yo, is it okay if I change this sound? Is it okay that I change this, change that?" And then he got the mix done. It was perfect and everything. And then his advice to me, he's like, "You want to be a better producer? Learn how to engineer."
Wow.
And I did. And because when you know how to mix it properly, apart from all the sonics and stuff like what a Major 7 say, because I'm a big sonics guy as well. When it's presented better, polished, clean, it sounds like a mixed record again already. People listen to that. People listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
So be an engineer and a producer. Learn how to hear and mix that space before you even give it to somebody else.
Exactly, because it will turn you into a better producer.
I love
You'll know like what works or what, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ronnie, what about you? One piece of advice that stuck with you, even now.
It was a quote that just says, "Write life." Write what's going on right now, because there's a million other people that's going through the same thing.
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, say it again.
Yeah, so the advice was to always write life. Write
okay.
what's going on right now. Write what's going on in your life. Write what's going on in somebody else's life, because there's always millions of people that are going through the same thing.
I love it. I love it. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, gents, you guys have spent 45 minutes with me almost, and I should appreciate you taking a little bit of time. I hope the people that are watching got some information about what it takes to really be a producer in this industry right now, because I just wanted to make sure we dispelled the myth of what it really is like. And they hear now that it takes a lot more work than just banging out a beat or playing with Ableton Live. Okay, I can't get MPC right now. I'm sorry, so playing with Ableton. Let me get it right. Or like Ronnie said, change my DAW. I'll get it together. But overall, there's more to it. And if you ever want to go back and replay this, please take the time to do it. These gentlemen have been around and doing it for a long time. They have been successful in every space of the genre. So this is the wisdom you're going to get, man. Take it, run with it. It's the real deal. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Pleasure,
you, man.
guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas.
All right, y'all.
And everybody that
Take
got to
care.
watch this segment, we sure do appreciate you stopping by to see us. Beautiful Now Live podcast will be here next Wednesday. Believe it or not, we have another Beautiful Now Live going on, and it's going to be another biggie. It is our 50th Chasing the Impossible segment, where I am bringing on one more huge producer. Mr. Teddy Riley himself is stepping up to the game next Wednesday at 7 p.m., so don't miss that. And as always, be blessed. Take care. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see you next time. Have a great one.